9:30. Slowly people should start joining the call. We have Brittany Smart on the call with us today. She's from Las Vegas. She's a top producer of Family First Life. But before we get into that, I just want to mention our numbers from last week. We had 4 people do over 10K last week. I have Kyrie Joyner at $11,121. Nicholas Campbell, $14,432. Cindy at $14,854. And then of course JP back at the top, $24,728. Congratulations, guys. We had
we over here getting money over here.
We had 36 writers last week. Let's try and push for everyone to write at least one piece of business this week. I would really, really like for everyone to at least write once. We need more writers. Every week, I want to hit over 45 people of writers for our team. With that being said, we have Brittany Smart on the call. She's, like I said, a top producer, Hall of Fame producer of 2019 issue, paid over $400,000. What was the exact amount, Brittany?
It was $412-ish.
Or 12-ish. It's over $400,000. She hit the Hall of Fame, guys. She's one of the mentors out there that's really easy to get along with. She's really helpful. So we have her on the call today. Before we get into questions, Brittany, can you go over your story? Like, what did you do to get started? What seemed to push you to keep producing so you could get Hall of Fame this year?
Sure, Aiko. I appreciate you guys having me on the call. It's an honor to do these. I'm always honored to give back and to share with you guys. I learned so much from individual teams. So one of the important things I think in this business is to keep learning, keep evolving. So getting on these calls is one way. So my story, I came from another insurance company. I had worked for a captive insurance company before. I won't say which one, but I never did that well. I think the most I made in a year was like 65 grand, and I issued over 100,000. So my contract level was like 57.5%. So I did that for a couple years. I was really inconsistent. I really hated selling insurance. So I left the insurance industry for a little while and I went into commercial banking. So I did like portfolio management, business loans, all that kind of stuff for like a couple different banks. So I did that for about 5 years. When I left that job, I was making 6 figures. I was just like really stuck. I felt really complacent. I was really bored. So I didn't know what to do. And so I like at the end of December of 2017, I just like quit my job. I didn't have any plans. I had nothing. So I quit my job and I just said, I didn't know what I was going to do. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to go back to the old insurance company that I worked at because I knew I could make money and I didn't want to be stuck in like a job. So I went back to the company I was at and I was miserable again. So I was going to go back into commercial banking because I had been offered a job and I had like a 6-figure salary plus bonuses. So some of my friends that have been in the industry for a while, they had been making, they're making $200,000-$300,000. I could work from home. I knew what the deal was. It was going to be pretty easy. But I heard about this opportunity with Family First Life from Albert, who is my upline. He brought me into the business. I've known him for about 10 to 12 years. So I was really skeptical. I had like the worst attitude about it. I said, okay, fine. Let me just see what's up, like before I go back to banking, because really banking was always going to be there. So I said, let me see what the opportunity is. So I came here at the beginning of 2018 in January. And I worked really part-time. So I think I was really, really part-time. I started going full-time August of 2018, but I still managed to issue pay like 220,000, we'll call it, in 2018. So I was just really, really skeptical coming in. Like I didn't have a good attitude about it. I was skeptical. I didn't get on any other calls. I didn't even go to conference my first year. I wasn't buying leads. So if any of you guys are in the situation that I was in, doesn't matter, because you're here today and you're doing the things that you need to do to get better. So wherever you were 6 months ago, wherever you were even yesterday, it really doesn't matter, because every day is a new day. Every day we have the opportunity. The clock starts at 0 every single day. So we have this opportunity here that really changes and transforms lives so quickly.
Perfect. So you said that you had a skeptical attitude going in, but in like 2018, you decided that it was something that you wanted to push forth and do. When you did that and you pushed for Hall of Fame last year, were you hiring people while you were doing that?
I was doing a poor job at it, I would say, for the most part of the year. Like, I was really inconsistent. You know, I'd hire a couple people and then I would, you know, like stop hiring. I didn't have an admin. I didn't have a recruiter. I go. So I was just basically, like, I always say this, I have worked out of my car as a business for 2 years. So I'm like a fake business. I was like a fake business working from my car.
Okay, so what pushed you to realize that you needed to stay consistent with hiring?
I think when I started to plug in some people that actually were doing pretty well at this and wanted to do this. So I did hire a couple guys that started doing 20K right out the gate. So that was exciting. It kind of reinvigorated me, and it gave me some hope, because, you know, in this business, just like with hiring, just like with running leads, it's such a numbers game. So the more leads we have, the more people we can see, the more people will close. It's the same thing with hiring. The majority of people I think you'll hire just won't work out, unfortunately. So the law of large numbers. You just are going to have to go through the numbers and not get disappointed, not go on the roller coaster ride when people don't work out. I learned that last year.
So that's what I feel like a lot of these agents are dealing with, is the disappointment in putting themselves or making effort with people who they feel like could do well in the business, and then it ends up falling flat. So how do you keep your mind from feeling like it's your fault and just pushing forward?
Tailor your expectations at 0 when people come into the business. I don't care if I've known them for 20 years, for 5 years, or I don't know them at all, and they have the best resume, they're the best talkers, they look the best, whatever the situation is. Assume they're going to do 0. And until someone actually gets leads and goes to work, you cannot have any expectations of anybody. And I learned that from Sean Mike, because last year when I was trying to build, you know, I was getting frustrated, and I have so many stories I could tell you guys about failures, about stuff that didn't work out, guys. I have an amazing team now, which I won't, because some of the stories are really crazy, but I have an amazing team now. And it took me, I think I would say, a year to find some of the people I have now that have a good attitude, they're positive, they're hardworking, and they just want to win. So it's gonna take time, and you're gonna go through people. You'll go forward, you'll go backwards, but you know that doesn't mean that's not your finality.
Okay. My main question is, do you push them to write? Like, what's your training behind getting your people to write their business? Because for me as the agent mentor, I get some agents who say, I'm going to try next week. Let me buy my leads later. I still want to train. There's still so much I want to learn. Where the learning process is being on the road and dialing those calls and buying those leads. How do you enforce that with your agents?
I mean, I'm not out of the field yet by any means, right, Aiko? So I'm doing the same things that I'm asking my teammates to do. So I'm not asking them to do anything I'm not doing. So for the people that aren't buying leads, not getting on the calls, they don't call me from a home, guess what? You're never going to hear from me. If you call me, I will pick up your phone call. But if you're not doing the things you need to do, I'm not going to spend time with you. I'm not going to pick up, I'm just not going to go that extra mile, because to where I'm at is you're not ready. And I don't think that it's not that you're never going to be ready, but you're not, like, I'm going to spend time with the people that are going out there, falling on their face. They're putting in the effort, they're buying leads. they have the activity. Those are the people that I'm going to spend time with, because I really feel like, you know how we say in this business, anyone can do this, and it's 100% true. But anybody that's lazy cannot do this. Anybody that's not going to be focused on this cannot do this. So if you just have the attitude, the activity, you know, the work ethic, everything else can be taught. That's what I've learned.
Okay. And how long did it take you to get you and your team to sales manager? After you feel the date you felt like you had a team and you were able to get the sales manager, from that moment forward, how long did it take you?
I would say 4 to 6 months, because I lost some people, like so I had I have a small team. When you have a small team, your AP per agent is higher, but I actually had my AP per agent is actually very high, or our AP per agent. So it's very high. So if I lost like 2 people, and then plus if I'm doing 40, they're doing 20 and 20, let's say, that's like my whole team and a couple other people. So I would say it took me about probably, when everything was set in, probably like 4 to 6 months once I had everything in place. But I started hiring last year, early in the year, because I had some agents at conference in 2019, and they're not here today, but I am. Yeah.
So you had agents from February who are no longer with you now?
Yes.
Wow.
Not this last conference, but the one.
I'm like, no, a month ago.
No, 2019 is what I'm talking about.
Okay. So I want to open up the call for people who have questions for her. You guys have heard where she was. You guys have heard where she's going. Please ask her some questions, recruiting questions, mindset questions. How did she get where she was? The line's open. If you have a question, please unmute yourself.
Hey, Brittany, it's Alan.
Hey, Alan.
How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Not bad. Hey, I have a question. That the year that you went Hall of Fame, that consistent high level producing, like how many leads were you buying, and what was your mindset going in on a weekly basis? Were you running like Facebook final expense, or were you doing a lot of mortgage protection?
Okay, so so in 2018, Alan, I had bought, when I started, because remember, I wasn't really buying leads like I should. I was writing 20K doing Facebook leads, and then I was working old mortgage protection leads. I would say in August of, so this is getting into that question. So August of 2018, September, I started actually buying mortgage leads. So then my strategy kind of changed at the end of 2018. So going into 2019, I said, okay, now I understand I need a good mix of things. So in 2019, I was heavy mortgage protection. I'm never going to lie about my lead strategy or anything. It was heavy mortgage, but I also ran final expense. So I was buying, I would buy Lead Gurus like maybe like twice a month or something to supplement. I had a decent lead flow here in Vegas. Like I traveled a little bit to Ohio and to other states when I got bored, really, but like I had a decent lead flow in Vegas. So to answer that, I would say mortgage leads, I would get, I don't know, 10 to 15 a week. I don't know if that's like the greatest flow, but like it's good for me. And then I might buy like 20 to 30 Facebook leads twice a month.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
Yep.
Does anyone else have any questions?
Hi. I'm sorry. This is Grant. How you doing, Brittany?
Hey, Grant. How are you?
Pretty good. So, sounds like to me that you felt like you got a lot of throttle from your mortgage leads. Like you switch. Did you switch up to doing more mortgage leads because you felt it was easier to close them, or what was the situation with that? What made you change that up?
You know what? My upline was really pushing me to get into mortgage, and my average sale with mortgage leads is about $220 a month. So that makes sense, right?
It sure does, yeah.
I pay $65 a lead. So yeah, I was kind of pushed in that direction to like get outside of my comfort zone, and my upline actually gave me his territory. So to be honest, I don't even know how I would have hit the Hall of Fame if I didn't have the lead strategy I had. But one of the things I'll say is I started running Facebook again a lot lately because my leads in Vegas have slowed down to like 5 a week. It's like nothing. I've been buying mortgage leads from other agents that can't run. But so I've been running Final Expense again. And one thing I'll say is Final Expense is by far the easiest close. I'm in and out in 30 minutes because you don't have to sit there and explain to people why you're there, why they need this. The only thing you're really up against is, and I don't care if most people that you see are going to be on a fixed income, right? Like, are you running Final Expense, Grant, or?
Yeah, predominantly. Yeah, I don't, and really, that's really all I run. But
Okay.
I'm starting to think that I need to probably incorporate some more mortgage protection leads, because I find that while the Final Expense is easy to explain, people that seem to jump on the mortgage protection, they already see a need of having it. And like you said, it is a bigger sale. So I think that I need to readjust my mindset and try to get a mixture. But I always get a little discouraged because I don't know. My thing is, who do I buy from? You know, and how much do I buy? Like, so that's what I'm running into now. So I want to do something that's going to give me a nice vitamin C boost where I get excited about, you know, who I go and see. And then maybe that's just my mindset. I need to readjust. But
Got it.
I do need to incorporate some more mortgage protection in there.
Hey, Brett, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Hey, Brett, it's Brian.
Hey, Brian.
I just got out of the studio recording.
I saw you.
So,
Okay.
hey, so listen, I know Dominic Rogers is going to write $400,000 this year selling Facebook leads. I know that, like, you're saved in my phone. I don't even know if you know this, but you're saved in my phone as Brett Facebook leads because of like just how you were killing Facebook leads. Like, can you talk about maybe some of the struggles that you were dealing with in the beginning with going out on Facebook leads and how you overcame it? Because I mean, I'm seeing people write $40,000 a month every month on Facebook leads because there's certain areas that they don't make mortgage leads. You know what I mean? So sometimes you can get them, sometimes you can't. But the people that can't get them, they just take Final Expense and kill it. So what were the struggles that you had in the beginning? How'd you overcome them?
Yeah, that's so true, Brian. And that was kind of where I was segueing into, is that Facebook leads the quality of them have increased dramatically. When I was running 2018, guys, I was running all of Cody's leads, Secure Agent. I don't know if you tried them. I don't know if they've changed. I honestly haven't ran Secure Agent since like 2018, 2019 early. But I swear by like all of 2019, I used Lead Gurus. Okay. I don't know if you guys have used them, if you would hate them or whatever, but that is the vendor. And I know we're supposed to diversify, but I've tried them all. That is the vendor that I got the best results with. So when you guys hit me up and you ask me what Facebook leads I'm running, I'm telling you I'm running those. The thing is like, Grant, law of like, you have to get enough leads. So if you're sitting down and you need to book 30 appointments for the week, you have to get enough Facebook leads to be able to book those appointments. So for example, Dom says, right, 75 to 100 leads, right, Brian, that he's buying. So there's no secret in there. You're definitely out of 75 leads, you could definitely book 25 to 30 appointments. So 100%. That is the first thing, is just the quantity. Okay. I don't know what everybody's budget is, but go max out that first week, borrow money, do whatever you need to do. So Mark said that every $500 you spend, generally you're going to make back, was it 1,000, something like that, 2,000. So max out on your buy as many as you can, use that profit to invest back week after week. So that's what I did when I started out. I was not running any mortgage, and I was still doing over 20K. Some of the challenges, Brian, I mean, I hear this a lot from my agents, and I'm like, you guys can't tell me this because I'm running also Facebook leads, which is another reason why I run them, is because I want my agents to believe in them because they work. I bought 40 leads from a vendor, and I probably made, Brian, like, I don't know, $6,000 from those. I closed like five or six of them. It was a small investment. So you guys, there's no reason why you cannot triple, quadruple your money, your investment off of the $800 or $1,000 Facebook investment. But some of the challenges that you guys might run into are, you probably hear that they don't have bank accounts, the health conditions, or sometimes they're going to tell you that they're seniors and they're on a fixed income. Well, guess what? I specialize in the senior market, guys. I work with people strictly between the ages of 60 and 85, which is why I can offer you the state-regulated program. I'm a specialist. I see all the people that I see are on a fixed income. So don't worry. All the programs are going to be tailored to, or they're going to be based upon your income. Okay, so I can find something for everybody. Let's get started. So a lot of times you'll hear that at the beginning, but guess what? If you throw it, when they tell you that they're on a fixed budget, doesn't matter, because the programs that I'm going to show you, Aiko, it's going to be based upon your income. Okay, so I can find something for everybody. No worries there. I just need to see if you can medically qualify, and then go through your deal.
That's awesome. Hey, let me ask you, were you ever afraid to invest the money like in the leads, like spending like a bunch of money up front?
Yeah, because, and I didn't even spend a bunch of money up front. If I would have, Brian, I would have done a lot better my first year. I came from a company where they gave us leads, so I didn't want to spend any money, and I really wasn't even sold on it. So I was like, do I need to do that? So yeah.
And then how did you push past that feeling of, oh my God, I'm about to just spend $1,000 on these leads right now? Like, what if I fail? What if this doesn't happen for me?
I never think like that things aren't going to work. Okay, so I see things a little bit differently. I will always try anything, I think, one time. I always say, I always try to live with no regret. So if I do something and I make a mistake, I always try to learn from that, and I never look at it as like a regret. So I don't know, I kind of just, at the end of the day, this is all riding on us. I really believe in myself and my work ethic, just because I've been tested and tried throughout life, and like I've been through just different things up and down. So I never had like that thought, but I might have thought like, maybe if I don't, what if I don't get all my money back or something? But I guarantee you guys, if you're working, I promise you this, that has never happened. I've never invested money and not at least broke even. Like, I have invested money and like didn't make any, but I broke even.
That's one of the major things that I hear from agents is like, I don't know if I can do it because what if I don't get my money back? So you saying it out loud, saying you've never gone to negatives, you've always at least broken even or surpassed your budget of leads that you put into that week. I think a lot of people need to hear that, because that's one of the main things that they get mental about, because they're like, I don't know if I should. And they ask me, do you think I should? And of course, I'm like, yes, you need to. There's no other way to benefit from the business if you don't put money on yourself.
I have worked at a company with that we did not have leads, and it was the worst experience I've ever had. So if I could go back, I go, and you said, and you told me like, okay, you can have the same comp at your old company, we'll give you those same leads, or you can stay here and you can have your same comp, but you buy your own leads. I would stay here all day, and I'm so much more profitable here than I ever was there with free leads.
All right. Anyone else got any more questions?
I do.
Question. Good.
Now I got a question. Hey, Britt, so I know you're selling at a high level and you're also helping your agents. What do you do when you have an agent that tries to look at like every excuse under the sun that it can be besides them? Because knowing that like once they blame it on something else that it is, but it's not them, they have no control over it. What do you do with an agent like that? Like how do you help that person see that it's actually them and it's nothing else? It's just them.
You know what, Brian, I think I took a page out of Sean's book, and I think I probably got this advice from him, is stop talking to that agent. I mean, like I was just going over this with Aiko when she asked a question. For the people, Brian, that want to win and they're working and they want this like more than they can breathe, those are the people that I want to work with. You know, you don't have to be good at this. You could be awful in the home. Like, I was laughing because I have an agent right now that's really struggling, but he's working so hard. And I heard his in-home, and there's so much work that needs to be done, but he wants this so badly. And that's the person I'm going to pour into, because you know what? He's running 20 plus appointments a week versus the person that's complaining. They're spending so much time, like they're wasting time pointing out all the things that are wrong. But meanwhile, they're stuck. They're not doing anything. Like, I can't spend any time with them. And my ship is going to sink too if I spend too much time with people that are in their head like that. Like, I just cannot do that.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Alan, did you have a question?
Yeah, this is a real quick one. I run a lot of leads a week. Like, I just ordered 70 leads for this weekend because I'm going to book for Sunday. But my question is, I can't get to all of them. Do you door knock the leads you can't get to? Or like, what's your success with door knocking? Because I haven't really done that.
Yes. So what I used to do, Alan, when I didn't have appointments, I probably wasn't booking as many as I should. One thing I would do when I was working Facebook leads is I would like call them in the car. So I would go to an appointment and I'd be calling I'd be calling to fill in my schedule. I would say, hey, Alan, you're like, yeah. I'm like, are you home right now? As soon as I hear that you're home, you tell me yes. I'm like, okay, I'll be right over. I would hang up the phone, Alan, and I would show up. They had no idea who I was, which is, it's not really a door knock, but it's kind of, but I know somebody's home. So I would do that in the car, or I would map out like 5 places to be. So at my old company, they always told us like plan to get no-showed. Like, I don't know if that's like positive or not, but basically just have a plan in case that person isn't there. So what I would always do is I would map out like at least 5 door knocks to do in that area by my appointments. So if I did get no-showed, I would have somewhere to go. So and especially like with seniors, like you can pretty much door knock them any time of the day. They're probably going to be home. Mortgage protection obviously is going to be different. But that's the nice thing about working in the senior market is if you're door knocking them at 11, 12, 1, I mean, there's a good chance they're going to be home unless they're working.
That's classic. I like that. Just call them and I'm gonna take
I know you're crazy, so get crazy with it. Just
no, I am. I'll do whatever it takes. That's for sure. I'm gonna be on
anything within the legal limits, you know,
right.
Like it's so awesome because seniors will like you. I don't know. I feel like they'll just let you be you. They love, you know, just the fact you're there. They're so open. So you can do crazy things and they're just like, okay, whatever.
I love it. Thank you.
Then we have time for one more question. Who's it going to be? Who's going to ask it? Super quiet. Let me see who's on. Is Kyrie on? Kyrie, I can hear you out there.
Yeah, I'm on.
All right. You're trying to make sales manager this month, correct?
Yeah. What advice do you have for me making sales manager this month? I'm fresh. I have 10 agents. What's some good advice?
How many of those agents, Kyrie, are doing like 3,000 a week? 3 to 5,000.
I'll say about 4 to 5 of them.
4 to 5. Okay. And so the rest, are they doing more than that or are they doing less than that?
They're doing less than that.
They're doing less than that. Okay. So what I would say is spend time with those people that are doing 3 to 5 and get them going. Like get them going to the next level. So whatever it is that's holding them back from doing, I mean, if they're doing 3, get them to 5, get them to 7, whatever, work with them in those increments. Another thing that helps is, I don't know if you like, if you guys have a weekly call other than this, but I think kind of briefing with them every week to go over their goals and measuring it on a more, instead of a monthly basis, help them measure it kind of weekly and look at their activity. At the end of every week, you can tweak some things and see, you know, how many appointments they're running, what the deal was, and kind of help them. The ones that are in the field, you can easily get them doing from 3 to 5 to 10 very quickly because they already have the foundation. And I don't know how much you're selling a month. I heard that you did over 10,000 for the week. So keep doing that. Don't stop that. Go hard on that because they're watching you. So you have to, you know, continue to produce at a high level.
Okay, thank you.
And that gives your team a lot of momentum.
I do have one more question before we end the call. I have agents who are starting to build a business and they hired a recruiter, but they're still struggling with what the recruiter should do, how many people they should be recruiting a week, how often the recruiter should be working since they're just starting to recruit. What, as someone who's still in that wave of trying to figure out a recruiter, what's something that you figured out that you didn't know before you had a recruiter?
Okay, one thing I'll say, if you guys want to hire people, use your social media. So I know you mentioned recruiting, hiring someone, but okay, recruiting for yourself is free. Social media is free. And I would say the majority of the team I had, they all came from social media. None of them came from ZipRecruiter. I had maybe a couple licensed agents, but use your social media, guys. If you hire a recruiter, hire somebody that is also good at social media, because, you know, I feel like I've been using ZipRecruiter for a long time, and recently I just got rid of it because I just wasn't seeing any results. Social media is by far the best tool. Some people don't want to talk about themselves. They don't want to brag about themselves. So we just had a call with Sean about this the other day. And for the people that said, well, I don't want to brag about what I'm doing. His response was, get over yourself and be an adult. Like, if you have a good opportunity like here and you're trying to build a business, why wouldn't you share it? Why wouldn't you talk about it? If you don't want to talk about yourself all day, which most of us don't want to, post, like, take a screenshot from other people's groups, or like if Ivan posts something in Tri-State, if Nick posts something, you know, take a screenshot of it, post it in your social media, and just say, hey, you know, reach out to me if you're looking for a career change, reach out to me if you want to make more income, you know, just simple things. I guarantee you guys, there's more people watching on your social media than you realize, because I don't talk to my friends or family about what I do, and I don't ever try to recruit them. So, but like, social media has been such a good tool, guys. If you're not doing that, you're missing the boat. As far as recruiting goes, I think like it depends on what your budget would be for something like that. I would say, I don't know what people's budget is going to be, but I know from learning from Sean, if you find a good recruiter, you want to make sure that you're paying them well. So whether that's like part-time or full-time, you just want to make sure that you find somebody that if you do pay them a nice hourly wage, like, they're going to be getting you results. Something Andrew Taylor told me is that he doesn't like waste too much time. So if he finds a recruiter that's not really doing much and he's not seeing a return on that, he doesn't waste too much time cutting them. So I guess that's some advice that I've gotten before. I don't know if that helps.
No, that helps. Don't be afraid to break up the team to build a better team, pretty much.
You said it way better than I did.
No problem, guys. We are at our time where we usually stop. If you guys have a question, I'll pause for a second for you to ask it. If not,
thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate you guys.
Yeah, you guys keep producing, keep writing, and stay positive. Have a good one.
Everybody have a good week. Bye.